Hi, folks. Thank you for attending this wonderful presentation on Costa Rica. As in the past, this presentation is being recorded and will be on the CARP Travel website shortly after. As I do at the beginning of all of these presentations, especially for those people joining for the first time, I ask, I give a little information on our business and how we came in contact with CARP. AlmonTravel has been in business since 2003. I was a high school teacher for 33 years prior to that. We have our specialties as you know, most travel agencies do. We can do FITs, which is individual bookings for couples and families and that sort of thing. But we also like to promote special groups, and that's one of the things that I will be doing with the CARP organization is organizing a number of groups to travel to different places in the world. Destination weddings, we've done 130 of those in the Caribbean area from all across Canada. Certainly we can do that. But where that translates into this demographic is lots of experience with groups. So booking a group is a different kind of animal than an FIT, which is just for a couple of people. There's a lot more that has to be considered. So we have lots of experience with that. Extended family Florida trips, we focus on theme park vacations like Disney and Universal Studios and a number of others that are down in Florida. So we've been to all of those places, and they're massive theme parks, so you need to have some guidance on how to make your way around those. Ocean cruises, we've tried to get on many of the popular itineraries and experience those, so we can talk to you from our own experience, and that can be very helpful in helping you organize your ocean cruise. River cruises, one of our particular specialties. We've done 10 different itineraries around the world, including China, Vietnam, Egypt, even the Mississippi, but of course a number of itineraries in Europe as well. So again, lots of experience with that can help you. Travel conditions. Well, every week that I do this presentation, co-host this presentation, we are hearing different stories and reports about how vaccinations are coming along and how different areas of Canada are doing. We are very fortunate in the Maritimes, the Atlantic provinces, to have very, very low counts. And the last I heard was that we were opening up a bubble with Nova Scotia, PEI, and New Brunswick. So that's all positive, and I guess that's kind of what we're leaning on as we go forward. And once vaccinations are completed in greater numbers, especially vaccinations around the world, nice to be vaccinated here, but also nice to have the place that you're going to vaccinated as well. I think travel will definitely open up. And of course, what we have to keep in mind, folks, is that there are a lot of trips canceled by people on itineraries all over the world. They receive future travel credits in a lot of cases. Those people are booking their trips before the people that have not yet booked. So what's happening is popular itineraries are filling up actually fairly quickly even now. So it is, obviously you have to be at a comfort level yourself, but it is getting better. And once you reach that comfort level, not a bad idea to be starting in on your planning for booking. Always use your help in spreading word about these presentations. The more people we have on, the happier presenters are. I know that we do have them available on the CARP website, but a live attendance is always appreciated. Groups with CARP, we're working on that. We started on that in November of 2019 when I was approached by Bill Van Gorder, Chief Policy Officer for CARP National, as well as the founding chair for CARP Nova Scotia, in addition to being the senior spokesperson for CARP in the Maritimes. Bill and I go back about 5 years when I worked on a charitable organization that he co-built. It was called 100 Men Who Give a Damn, and we raised $400,000. I was on the board for that. All of that money, not a penny less, went to the charitable foundations that applied for it. So I'm very proud of that. Got to know Bill quite well there. I booked a couple of trips for him. And as a result of the service on that, Bill asked us if we would be the official travel agency for CARP Nova Scotia, and we of course said yes. I'd like to introduce you now to Maurice Castro, who's the director of TAM Travel in Costa Rica. His company has been in business, I was kind of surprised to find this out, since 1964. So they've been around for quite a while, have established a wonderful reputation. In fact, we used their services when we were in Costa Rica back about 5 or 6 years ago. Maurice came back after working on a couple of businesses of his own and rejoined the company as the director of the company back in 2011. So it's been a family business, and who better to do a presentation for us than Maurice. Maurice, could you take it over, please?
Sure. Thank you, Danny. Thank you so much for letting us participate on this webinar. Now everything's virtual, but we still feel very close, even if it's through the computer. And thank you again to AlmonTravel. We're very pleased to be able to present something that we love and cherish, our little giant of a paradise, as we call it. The land of pura vida, where everything, we're the happiest country in the world. So we're going to give you a little brief of what we are, what we offer. And first of all, let me introduce our company. We've been in business for, as Danny said, for a long time. It's a second generation business. Even though my mother, who's 80 years old, still, I would say that works more than I do. She's got the stamina of a 20-year-old. And right now she's in Guanacaste doing site inspections, making sure that the hotels are up to par, since the airports opened up in Costa Rica on October, and we've been the tourists have been coming back in good numbers, and we're fortunate to know that Costa Rica has been named by most of the trade publications as the place to visit after the pandemic. It's not gone. I don't think it's ever going to be gone, but after it's controlled, and we're seeing more and more better numbers as the herd, as Danny was saying, the vaccination and the herd immunization and everything is going on, and also we've been lucky enough to have a government that has managed the pandemic in an absolute stunning manner. You know, the numbers have gone down. We built some hospitals for the COVID patients. We've closed about 98% of them. We built around 10, and there's just one still working, and they're probably going to close it in a month or so. So we're pretty strict on what we how we approach the health protocols and everything. So that has has proven to be very effective. So we're very happy. And as I was telling Danny before we started out this conversation, we're looking a spike on business from June on drastically. So, you know, tourism is back, and we're happy about it. Okay, so let's start with the presentation. Okay, discover our paradise, Costa Rica. You know, this is what Costa Rica is all about. It's all about nature. It's all about beaches. It's all about the outdoors. It's all about animals and wildlife, and you know, this is I always tend to say that Costa Rica is where nature resides. If you want to go visit nature, you have to come down here, and we're really close to where you are. It's a 5-hour flight, or 5.5-hour flight at the longest, and we have service to two airports from Canada. One's in Taman International Airport in San Jose, and the Liberia Airport in Guanacaste. So, Danny already did his introduction, and we're very pleased to be partners with a company like AlmonTravel. And thank you, Danny, for letting us be a part of your team, and we feel very proud of by having such a good relationship with the company in Canada. Thank you again. Well, here they are. A good travel agent wouldn't be able to sell a destination properly if he hasn't visited the country. So here's Danny with some of our employees back in, when was that, Danny?
Oh, about I would say 6 to 7 years ago.
Great. Now it's time for you to come back. There's a lot of new things, so it's time to come back.
Well, you can't see it. We were there for 2 weeks, but you can't see it all in 2 weeks anyway. So, yeah, definitely a good reason to come back.
I know. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience in the land of Florida?
Well, we spent some time in San Jose. We went to Arenal for the volcanoes, and I mean the lush jungle was just stunning. I mean, I remember looking out of one of our windows, and I thought I was in real life Jurassic Park, the movie.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, though, the volcano itself was not. It was kind of smoking, but it wasn't lava flowing at that particular time. But it was still very, very impressive. So that was in that area. We looked at a number of resorts and the town, and we wandered around there a little bit. The driving that we. Sorry, did you have a question? So the bus that we were on, driving through the countryside was just marvelous. As you say, nature is what it's all about. But I have to say, that being in different areas, we were in Manuel Antonio for a little while. We were also in the Guanacaste area, and stayed at a couple of the resorts. Absolutely beautiful resorts, very comparable to any that we've stayed in the Caribbean. Black sand, which is kind of neat. We went to different, what would you call them, preserves. I recall seeing butterflies in one, alongside of, I'm going to say crocodiles, but maybe they were alligators. I guess crocodiles. Yeah. And I participated in 2 zip lines. I absolutely mastered the first, which was a two-wire zip line, and the other one-line zip line mastered me. So, but I got some really great experiences from that. Something I'll be talking about for the rest of my life. It was wonderful.
Great. Yeah, zip lines are really fun. The day before yesterday, I did the longest. They just opened the longest zip line in Central America. It's a mile long.
Oh my God.
1.6 kilometers, and you get to about 90 kilometers an hour.
Oh my.
At the peak of the line, and it's funny because you feel like a plane. You have a guy that you stand on the platform and said, where am I gonna land? And said, yeah, you see that little point out there? And said, yeah, sure. And said, you're gonna see a guy with 2 red paddles in front of you, like an aircraft carrier.
Oh.
And when the guy starts closing the paddles, you're going to have to open your arms and pull them out so as to lower your speed like a plane. It's like using a flap. So it's very funny, but it's quite an adrenaline rush, and that's one of the things that we have in here. We have a lot of adventure. We have a lot of everything for any kind of passenger. The millennials go crazy here because they can do all the adrenaline they're adrenaline junkies and they can do most anything they like. So it's fun. Oh, wait. Okay, so let me tell you about a little bit about the pura vida. You know, ticos we're known for. The Costa Ricans are known for two things. Ticos, because ticos is it's kind of a little piece of when you say it, it's a diminutive. We use chiquititos instead of chiquito, we use chiquiticos. So we're known for ticos, and then we're known for pura vida because everything in here is pura vida. You go to a place and said that the first thing you're gonna hear, hey Danny, pura vida, how are you? How you doing? You know, it's kind of a lifestyle, and that's it's sort of, you know, people are really happy and everywhere you go, you'll get somebody that speaks English or at least understands English. We have a 98% literacy rate, and English is taught on all schools from first grade until high school. So most people will answer you in English, and you'll be surprised who'll give you an answer. The guy with the oxen, he'll give you an answer in English, and at the end he'll say "Pura vida," okay, with a V, like Winston Churchill. Okay, let me show you a little bit around about Costa Rica. We have two international airports. We have one in San Jose right here. Oh, wait. One in San Jose, right in the middle of the country. And then we have one in another international airport in Liberia, and we have a service to both. We're serviced by Air Canada, Sunwing, and some others, Air Transat, and from Toronto, and we get a lot of Canadians in here, which we really like, and they really enjoy going, especially into the Guanacaste area. They love the beaches and they love the climate and most of the adventures that there are. We have three ports, one right here in Guanacaste, another one in Port Caldera, another one in Port Limon, where we get a lot of cruise ship activity, and a new one in Golfito down south. Costa Rica, it's divided in 7 provinces. We have Nicaragua to the north and Panama to the south, and we're surrounded by water on both coasts. Moving from Puerto Limon to Puerto Caldera, from coast to coast, it takes about 4.5 hours only. So it's a small country. We're 52,000 square kilometers, but boy, do we have nature. You know, that's the place where you want to go to have nature. 25. Let me give you a little brief before we get into the. I'm going to show you a couple of videos that we did, and most 6.8% of the entire world's biodiversity is located in Costa Rica. That's roughly the size of West Virginia, to give you an example. So, you know, we're really lucky that the Costa Ricans have decided to preserve nature as it is. 25% of the entire territory is dedicated to either national parks or reserve areas. So let me show you a little bit of what we did with the pandemia. This is one video that we published right at the start of March 2020. But it's going to show you a little bit of our country. It's very, very beautiful. Okay, sorry about that.
We've explored our little giant of apartheid together for the past 65 years. Costa Rica's youth has been the driving force of the pura vida lifestyle, the core of our DNA, the heart of our people.
seems to be frozen, Maurice.
It's frozen?
On my end it is, yeah.
Today we're living in challenging times, and we join the global effort to get through this rough part of the journey together.
I think it's your connection. It's going smoothly in this end.
Okay, yeah.
In our wanderless souls, we know this. We will travel again. We travel not to stay back, but for life, not to stay back.
See the video, and it's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if any of the viewers might be having a frozen image. Still a lot of beach.
They're looking at it.
There we go.
I checked.
Today we must stay home, help our communities as much as we can. It may be great times, and yet the sun is still there. The rivers are still there. The water is still warm. Birds are returning. Nature is healing itself. We are healing, reflecting. And now, more than ever, we are sure. This is the time to make things better, to live and travel in a more sustainable way, consciously. Travel to explore the beauty of nature while honoring our only home. We will feel the sun again in our faces. Don't stop dreaming. To travel is to live. We'll be ready when you are, and we will welcome you here, where nature resides. We invite you to reconnect. Love and blessings from the land of Pura Vida, always and forever. Together, we will travel again. TAM Travel, Costa Rica.
That video that you just saw was has been has had 6 million reproductions as of today, and it's been the most reproductive video in the history of Costa Rica. Even the Secretary of the United States reproduced it. You know, the message was really to the heart, and it showed what Costa Ricans are made of, you know, in terms of how we protect nature and how we are going to consciously approach this problem. So I'm very proud of that.
Beautiful.
And so we had the Let Beauty Move You. That's the sequel. And then we have the other one, the last one, that's called TAM Travel. That's a 50, that's a pretty short one, but it'll show you what's happening right now. Okay, so continue on with the presentation. What will you find in Costa Rica? Adventure. Look at this guy. Is he having fun or not? Huh? Tell me. That was me yesterday on the Superman line. This is the, we have a lot of culture, we have nature. Again, you know, nature is just what we have lots of it. And leisure. In Costa Rica, it's such a leisurely place to come. You know, the beaches are crowded. They're not polluted, and you can still go to beaches. You can discover beaches that nobody's ever been yet. So okay, and culture. We have a lot of culture in Costa Rica. You'll be amazed of when you go to Guanacaste. We have and I'll show you later. We have one of the blue zones, one of the 5 blue zones in the world. And we have the largest community of centennials in the world, and I'll tell you why. So it is impossible to talk about TAM without describing Costa Rica. 52% of its territory covered 2,300 different species of trees, 6.5% of the entire world's biodiversity. There is a region in the south that's called the Osa Peninsula that holds, it's about 100 square kilometers, and it holds 5% of the entire world's biodiversity. We have, you know, the numbers are always strange. We have more butterflies in all of the African continent. We have more birds than all of North America combined. 25% of its entire territory is dedicated to national parks. We have 10,000 different species of plants. We have 9% of the entire world's birds population. So, and we can go on and on and on, you know, mammals, and volcanoes, and you know, Sir David Attenborough was here, and he filmed one of his specials, and in one of them he said that Costa Rica is the example to follow in order to recover the earth nature. So we're pretty proud of that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was not long ago. What can TAM do for you? You know, we oops, okay, right here. Okay, magic. Our team of experts create magic. We like to cater to every passenger's need. I know that everyone's needs are different from the guy next door. So we have a large group of expert travel destination experts that will make your visit to Costa Rica an unforgettable one. We've done everything there is to be done through our 57 years now. We have delivered dream vacations, and magic, as we put it right there, is also an art. In every itinerary, you'll get the work of a travel expert. We have an expert on adventure. We have an expert on bird watching. We have an expert on the guy that wants to surf. We have 8 of the best waves in the world. You know, we have the best left, the best right, the wave that will break quicker, and you know, Costa Rica, it's a paradise for surfers. So you know, you're not just tourists, you're a seasoned traveler, and we're very happy to welcome you to our country. Carbon neutrality in Costa Rica. Again, we take pride in protecting nature. We plan to be one of the first carbon neutral countries in the world. Our goal was to be carbon neutral by 2025. With the pandemic and everything, we had to push back that about 3 or 4 years, but nonetheless, we're still working hard on it. We have about 90% of the electrical power that's produced in Costa Rica is produced by rivers, and the rest, the 10%, is produced by wind. So we don't use fossil fuels to produce any electricity. Facts and figures. 2 international airports. We have San Jose, that's right in the middle of the country, on the Central Valley. That's where I would say about 70% of the population is located. We have the 5 largest cities in the country: Alajuela, Cartago, Heredia, San Jose, and in Punta Arenas on the Central Valley. And Central Valley is lush, it's green, it's where coffee is planted, and then we have the flatlands on the Atlantic, and we have the dry lands on the Guanacaste coast, and of course we have the Osa Peninsula on the south, where it's just jungle. most of that it's protected. And then we have the Bay Airport, which is in the capital city of the Guanacaste region. That's where you go if you want to go to the best beaches, the adventure, the resorts. We have. That's another thing. We have. You can rent a $30,000 a day villa, or you can stay on a $40 a night hostel. We have, the budget is really wide, so we have a little bit of everything for you. We have two seasons: the golden season and the green season. The golden season, it's what we call it's the dry season, and it runs from late November until early May. And then we have the green season that runs from May until late October, middle November. That's when it rains more. But again, if you want to be on nature, that's the best time to go to visit nature. It's when everything's greener. The animals come out of the jungle because the water.
In rainy season, we were down there in rainy season, and it was really quite magnificent. Maurice, just have to mention to you again. I still have the slide up that shows the.
Okay, I'm going to make it quick. Sure. And then we have the blue zones. Again, it's most of you have probably heard about the blue zones, the 5 blue zones in the world, and that was a study that was made a few years ago, where they did a study on why these people live so long. We have the largest group of centennials in the world. Some of them go as old as 115. And it's a mix of what they eat and their lifestyle. And again, we're located in the middle of the Americas, so we're not very far from anywhere. So that's about it. And we're really happy to host you here, and you can be one of those guys riding one of those horses on the sunset. So why not give yourself? We've been caged for a year, so give yourself a break and go to nature, breathe fresh air, and let your lungs breathe nature around you. This is TAM. A little bit of I'm going to go real quick. We have DMC incentive for individual travelers. We have tour centers. We have 10 tour centers in Guanacaste. Again, to travel is to live. The sloth, the new world. We're going to, after the pandemic, this is going to be a new world. The safety protocols. We have the strictest protocols that you can imagine. Every unit is the bags are sanitized before they go into every unit. The people are given alcohol and stuff. We enforce the social distancing. We enforce the use of a mask. Every time the people leave one of our units, the unit is sanitized immediately. So there's lots of programs that I'm sure that Danny would be able to put up for you. Friends and families, this was previous pre-pandemia. Right now you'll see them wearing a mask. Hey, that's you on with the mighty Arenal on the back.
Yes, right in front of me there. There was an obstacle course in the forest. I don't know if that was on an eco trip or not. I think it is. It was a wonderful place that we saw that had zero carbon. There were zero footprint. But that was a group of us that were partaking of this obstacle course that was in the trees, and that was quite fascinating.
And again, Costa Rica is good for wedding. We're very popular for weddings, honeymoons, special celebrations. We're very popular with families. You know, the kids love to come here. They love to go. You know, you'll be walking through nature, and you'll see a jaguar or a sloth or you know, lots of monkeys, all kinds of birds. And this is just a sample of an area of how to show you something. They show the hanging trees on Monteverde. And if you have any questions, if some of them have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Well, give people an opportunity to gather their thoughts. Just wanted to mention a couple of things myself, but the other thing is if viewers have experienced what I have experienced, which was probably viewing about maybe 5 of the slides, the recording has been done, and I understand from Maurice's point of view that has gone ahead flawlessly. So when the recording is sent to me, I'm sure that anybody that was in a situation similar to me, where we missed many of the slides, will get a chance to see it in its entirety when I put it up on the CARP website. One of the thing, it was interesting. I don't, as I recall, when we were down there, you folks in Costa Rica do not have an army. And,
no, we don't have an army. 1948, we abolished the army. We have a police force.
Yeah.
There is no army here. I'm sorry. The government back then decided that the entire budget that was used on buying arms was going to be used on building schools. So our largest chunk of the budget is on education. We pride ourselves on having a very educated people. So as I said, our literacy rate is 98%.
Well, and you talk about, but that was one of the things that I was flabbergasted by. I mean, I'm a former teacher, obviously very interested in the education system in other parts of the world, and very much amazed by what I saw in Costa Rica. Your fact where you said that absolutely no fossil fuels are used to produce energy. I mean, anywhere in the world. I mean, we're moving in that direction. We have wind turbines in Nova Scotia, and we're looking at tidal turbine, production of power as well. But that's a ways down the road. We are still working on, believe it or not, coal and oil. So that's one of the things that has been tossed around. I don't think it'll actually come to fruition is the possibility of nuclear power as well. So we're trying to get to where you folks are right now. I mean, that's just absolutely amazing. 100% on hydro and wind. Yeah, amazing. So now you did talk about a little bit about the best time to travel. You talked about green and gold season. If there must be a transition time between those two seasons that maybe would be more ideal. Would you have any recommendations on that?
Yeah, if you ask me, I would definitely choose November, December, and January. Why? Because you've gotten everything's still green, yet you don't have any rain. However, even on green season, what you will have is just a downpour in the afternoon. And myself, I love going out on the rain. I don't mind getting wet. You know, it's when you get to see most of the wildlife. You know, the butterflies will stay on the trees and everything on the plants, but everything else aside from the butterflies, and you know why the butterflies don't fly when it rains? Because it will damage their wings. So, but most aside from that, the animals will just come out of the jungle and you'll be able to see. You'll be amazed at what you'll be able to see on when it rains. So I prefer the transition period, but it's whenever you can come, it's always a good time to come down here.
I have personally had weddings down there, and of course you've got the best of both worlds, all-inclusive resorts, which are every bit as fine as I mentioned as any place in the Caribbean. But you also have that added benefit of being able to explore nature and not very far away from the Guanacaste area. So it doesn't take a long time to be able to get to the reserves and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's absolutely wonderful.
A lot of people, a lot of people are renting houses as well. That's a side effect of the pandemic.
Okay.
They like to stay in bubbles, in their own bubbles and stuff, and so that's become very, very popular here. We have a huge amount of villas and all sorts of villas, and, from condos all the way to this huge houses, and but there's something for everybody.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Maurice, for a very enjoyable presentation on the natural wonders of Costa Rica. As a conclusion, just want to talk a little bit about what we will be presenting next week at 6:30. That's March the 30th. We have a presentation on an Alaska cruise and a land tour with Holland America Cruise Lines. Alaska is on a lot of people's bucket lists for travel. We've been there and loved it. But with global warming upon us and glaciers receding at record rates, it might be a good idea to stroke this one off your bucket list sooner rather than later. Again, a wholehearted thank you very much to Maurice Castro, Director of TAM Travel in Costa Rica, for your interesting and revealing presentation on Costa Rica with TAM Travel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, and pura vida to everybody in Canada. We'll be waiting for you guys.